Hello everyone, this is your host Siddharth, and today we have a very special guest with us, Mrs. Arundhati Bhattacharya, President and CEO of Salesforce South Asia. It's my pleasure to have you, ma'am, on our show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, so you served more than 4 decades at State Bank of India.
That's right.
And right now, the conversation I think has come back again to banks only. We have recently saw how Anthropic unveiled their new model Mythos. Now all the banks are worrying it can detect vulnerabilities in their systems and the software. So I want to know your opinion. You have been in the sector for a long time. Is this a problem for the banking industry, and should Indian banks also get access to Mythos?
See, this is for me a theoretical question because they will give access to whoever they think is correct. But whether Anthropic comes out with this or not, there will be other agencies that will come up with similar models. We have seen that, depending upon whoever is coming up with something, the race is so intense that somebody or the other comes up with something very similar very soon. So it is a matter for all organizations. It doesn't matter whether it's only banks. It is a matter of for all organizations to think about how quickly they will have the ability to patch for any vulnerability that gets detected. So it's something that every organization that is today running some system or the other, is for all of them to think about and to be ready for it. Because today or tomorrow, doesn't matter whether it is this one model that Anthropic is talking about, it's something that's going to hit us.
So you agree Indian banks should also get access to those models?
So, again, as I said, it's not a question of getting access to these. It's a question of being ready yourself to try and do things as they are evolving. And things will evolve in many different ways, not only the ways that we are seeing in front of us. So the ability to be agile, the ability to understand what is happening or what is a threat in the near future, or what is an opportunity in the near future. All of these will have to be things that any management of any organization, anywhere, will have to be constantly looking out for and working on.
Okay. And is there any learning from the banking industry which you are currently applying in the AI era for Salesforce, which is suiting well as well?
See, in any case, whether it's the banking industry or the IT industry. In the banking industry, what was I doing? I was basically serving customers with financial products. In the IT industry, I am doing a similar thing for customers, excepting that I am using IT products. So at the heart of everything that we do, it's the customer. Okay. And if you are talking about customer success and how the customer is a happy and satisfied customer, and if that is what you're trying to get your organization to, then the lessons that I learned in the bank are very well applicable to this organization as well. Because even here, customer success is one of our values. We have 5 values. The first is trust, which is again to do with your customers. The second is customer success. The third is innovation, again very much to do with customers. The fourth is equality, and the fifth is sustainability. So the value of customer trust, if I really want to live it, then I have to take the lessons that I learned in my earlier organization, because there also the entire focus was customers. So to that extent, I will say that there's a lot of learning in that I've had in the bank, which I'm able to use over here, because the end results that we are trying to achieve are almost the same.
So recently we are seeing a new trend where the AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI also are entering the service market where they recently launched joint ventures as well. So are you seeing it as a threat to this traditional SaaS or IT companies? How are they going to tackle that? Because they also have announced that they are also going to deploy engineers in the other organizations.
So basically, the thing is, they may be trying to replicate a go-to-market model because they realize that these agents cannot work in a vacuum, right? However, we also use their LLM, and we already have customers that have workflows which are on us. So for us, to deploy an agent is probably an easier way to do things than for you to start again on their platform and develop from the word go. So while yes, they will come in and try go to market in a manner that gives them the whole of the stack, we believe that we are equally well equipped to bring in their products as part of the stack that a lot of people already have with us. So it's going to be a competitive market.
Yes.
There is no denying that competition is increasing. Yeah. But then overall, I would say it's good for the customer because they will have a choice as to which way they should go. And I believe that, because we have been in this area for a long time, it's been what we have specialized in. Therefore, we definitely have an advantage.
Okay. Like, do you see a future where they might break away from existing companies, or maybe they become confident enough themselves?
So, it depends. At the end of the day, I think, we will all continue to collaborate. Yeah. Because collaboration creates the kind of business that going all by yourself often doesn't. So, I don't believe that it has to be one or the other. It can be collaborative business models that will work. And in the long run, I think that has the biggest chance of success because each company will bring its biggest strengths to play in such collaborations, right? So yeah, everything today is changing. Products are changing. The way we are pricing them is changing. The way we are going to market is changing. So I don't believe that change will go away in any quick manner. But overall, I don't think that we should be afraid of what is coming ahead. We should rather, I would say, lean into it because the more the competition, the more it will be incumbent on all of us to put our best foot forward and try and, serve the customers in the best way possible.
So, like, what is going to be the USP for Salesforce going ahead? Like, pricing is definitely one of them, as people mentioned, but I think there are local competitors as well, Zoho and Freshworks. And recently we saw that how, like, government is also actively backing Zoho. So how do you plan to capture the Indian market where, like, government is also backing local players?
So, the thing is, we will do that on the basis of the value we create. I believe we create value wherever we go. And we are also, as I told you, one of our primary values is that of innovation. Today is the age of innovation. Any company that can innovate at scale and at the pace that this particular phase in our history requires, they will be the ones that people will gravitate towards. Okay, we believe that we are always at the market, not behind the market. I think that gives us a lot of our customers depend on us because they believe that they will not fall behind in case they stay with us. So yes, all of these competitive pressures will always be there. But does that mean that we are, we are falling behind or we are not anticipating these and working accordingly? It doesn't mean that at all. It means that we understand what the circumstances are like, what the ecosystem is evolving towards, and we take whatever steps are necessary in order to get there on the basis of the value that we are creating.
So in FY25, we saw to 47% revenue growth for Salesforce India. So, like, how much was it driven by AI, or, like, can we break it down?
You have to understand FY26 actually means most of FY25. That is calendar year 25, only 3 months of 26. Okay. So to that extent, that was the time when people were still very much just experimenting with AI. So not much of that revenue could be attributed to AI usage. It is attributed mainly to the usage of our regular products. Okay. What we are doing today, by the way, you can't abstract the usage of AI from our products, because what we are doing is we are infusing each of our products with AI. So if you are using our products, you open the correct version of it, you will be able to use the AI tools on that as well. So, a strict classification of what is revenue on regular products and what is revenue on AI products is not feasible, because the regular products are now infused with AI. You get it? Yeah. So, it's very difficult for me to tell you how much of that revenue is actually AI driven and how much of it is driven by, the regular offerings that we had.
So is there any emerging AI trend which is, like, keeping you excited or, like, keeps you awake at night? like anything?
See, everything is keeping me excited because every day there is there is something or the other that's happening new. For instance, for this world tour itself, we are going to say that, or we are going to declare that we now have voice, and voice not only in English but in Hindi and English as well, that will be live in India. So that's very exciting because a lot of people have been asking for voice, and especially voice not in English but in local languages. Now with Hindi and English, we'll obviously be adding other local languages rapidly behind this. So that gives us a further new opportunity because a lot of people are very interested in AI products that are voice-based. Okay. Similarly, there are other certain products which were not available in the India instance of the data center. Those like MuleSoft is now becoming available in their India instance. So those are things that excite one because the moment these things happen, the business opportunities become bigger. And of course, that is exciting for us.
And last question, like what advice will you like to give to like young graduates, 22-year-olds who are like coming out of college? So like they are not sure like how the job market is going to look like for them, like what job role they are going to take. So what would you tell them?
So the one thing that I do want to tell them is that they have to obviously be fluent in AI. AI fluency is an absolute necessity. What does AI fluency means? It means that you have tested out the various tools that are there in the market and you know what they can do, and that you have tried them out yourself and have solved a few problems with them yourself, and you know the strengths of each one. By the way, you very distinctly can say that this particular tool will be more effective for this and that particular tool will be more effective for something else. So that kind of AI fluency is expected of today's graduates because the companies that will be recruiting will be working in these areas and will be expecting that the new people, at least, that they take on board will be able to help them in their journey towards the new products. So new products knowledge is something that will be a must.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure.
You.